Beauties, here is my foundation declutter. I keep all of my makeup in this little section right here. And here is my foundation drawer. As you can see, I declutter pretty regularly, so I don't feel like it's an absurd amount, but it's definitely more than I need. We are going to dive in. Here is everything that I'm going to be working with. I am going to take out everything that I'm kind of currently using / summer shades, because obviously I'm probably going to hold on to all of those. Recently I've been using the Urban Decay Stay Naked. This is a holy grail foundation. I've gone through quite a few since it first came out. And I don't want to be super long-winded. I'm going to try to go through this pretty quickly, but I feel like, and I'll kind of note things that I feel like are more special, if you will. I feel like the Stay Naked is more special in the way that I feel like if you have dry skin, mature skin, textured skin, or if you have oily skin, I feel like this is kind of a pretty universal type of formula. It's very lightweight, very skin-like on the skin, and it wears beautifully, and it's that perfect blend of, you know, perfect for dry skin, textured skin, mature skin, because it's not thick, it's not heavy, it's not cakey, but then it doesn't have so much slip to it, and it's not dewy, so somebody with oily skin can also use it. This is the shade 41NN, so it is my current shade. It is the shade that I use all the time right now. Definitely holding on to that. Next up, I have been using kind of in combination either one of these foundations with the new Urban Decay Face Bond. This one is much too warm and too deep for me, but I also feel like it's a little too full coverage for me and slightly more drying. So mixing them together, like these together, have been a match made in heaven. So I'm definitely gonna hold on to this one as well. And then these two right here, the Beauty Blender Bounce Skin Tint and then the Maybelline Super Stay 24 Hour Skin Tint. I honestly feel like they're pretty similar, pretty comparable, except for, and I'll get close, the Maybelline one has a little bit more of kind of a luminous quality to it, but you don't really see that on the skin. Meaning that it kind of still sets down. Both of these are absolutely perfect. I think both of these are incredibly beautiful. They wear well. They're very lightweight on the skin, so definitely holding on to both of these as well. I will go to a couple that I know I'm not going to be keeping. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter in the shade 3 Light Medium, solely because this is getting older and I've had it for a little while. I am going to declutter, but I really do like this. I sometimes will just go in with a little bit of concealer and kind of spot conceal as I need to, and then use this as an actual foundation. And then the Flawless Finish Foundation, this is in the shade 250 Buff. It is actually almost gone. I've used up quite a bit of it, but it is getting older, and I'm somebody that does not like to keep older products sitting around. I will note too, I know that it sucks when we have to kind of get rid of things. I've used both of these quite consistently, and it does, you know, it stinks. It stinks when we have to get rid of products. But if, and I always say this, if at any time your makeup products, skincare, etc. have changed in their texture, consistency, color, and most importantly, and most noticeably, the scent, please toss it. Please toss it. You got to keep in mind, and we all have to keep in mind, as much as, you know, I love makeup and I love playing in makeup and stuff like that, and as much as it breaks my heart to toss items versus like putting them in my resale group, these are, at the end of the day, they're chemicals. We are putting chemicals and stuff on our skin, and it is not worth it to hold on to them. Solely because these are a little bit older, I am going to declutter. I do want to note, though, that the Flawless Satin Foundation from e.l.f., in my opinion, is quite comparable to the Urban Decay Stay Naked. I do get a little bit better wear with the Urban Decay, but if you've wanted to try this one, this is a pretty close dupe, but these are both going to go. Next up is the Kosas Revealer Foundation. I do like this foundation. It has a little bit more coverage than I kind of typically go for. And just to note too, I do have, you know, more textured skin, more dry skin. I am 45, and I typically take a less is more approach. / I like a little bit more luminous quality. I like a skin-like consistency, and I really, really like a lightweight coverage. So you'll kind of notice that with most of these. This one right here has a little bit more coverage to it. It does, though, have an expiration date, so we're gonna go ahead and toss it because it has expired. Next up, also one that I've used quite a bit, especially throughout like spring months, is the Too Faced Born This Way Healthy Glow. I am going to go ahead and declutter it. It's a nice foundation, but I feel like some of the other ones that I'm kind of using currently and or are like my spring summer shades, I like a little bit better, but this is nice. I am going to go ahead and declutter though. Next up is the Cali Ray Free Dreaming Tint. This is shade 4. I honestly just don't like the texture of this. It feels a little bit almost waxy. That's the best way that I can describe it. I also really don't like the color of this. It's not my favorite color, and it is very, very, very liquidy, as you can see. But when I blend it out, there's something about it that it just, in my opinion and on my skin personally, it just doesn't set down all the way. And typically, again, I would like that. I would like that kind of more loomy type of finish. If this was more of like my winter shade, I would probably keep it, but because it never sets down, I am also gonna go ahead and declutter this one. Next up is the Rose Ink Skin Enhancer. I do not like this texture. I know that a few different foundations have gone viral with having this consistency, and I know y'all ripped me to shreds because I did not like that damn CoverGirl one. I stand by that. I hate the texture. I don't like this at all. So I know some people do, and if that is, you know, up your lane, then great. It is not for me. I am very much of a texture consistency type of a person. I don't know why, but I just do not like the texture, so both of these are gonna go. Next up is the About Face. This is their Performer Foundation, and I have the shade LM2 Peach. I'm gonna hold on to this one. This one is a little bit kind of similar to the Stay Naked as far as like finish and texture of it. I do love the component of this, although I said this in my review, it is hard to get out, but I really like the doe foot applicator here. And I really, really like the tone and undertone of this. This is perfect for kind of in between spring, summer for me. The finish of this is really, really beautiful. This is another one that I feel like if you have oily skin or dry skin, it's going to work for you. I think it is a beautiful formula. Definitely going to hold on to that. Next up is another favorite. This is the Fenty Beauty Foundation Stick. This is in the shade 7. And I really do like this. As you can see, it's almost gone. This is one that I use closer to like kind of in between like spring-ish going into summertime. Like right now it's a little bit too light for me. But I love the texture of this, and I'm not oftentimes a foundation stick lover because for me, having dry skin, they don't blend out as well as I personally would like. This one is incredibly creamy. Not sure if you have oily skin if you'd love this, but I really like it, so gonna hold on to it. Next up is another favorite. It is the Fenty Beauty Pro Longwear. This is like a semi-matte. This has a little bit more coverage than I typically go with like some of these other ones here, but I love this for summertime, springtime, and when it's hot, when it's muggy, stuff like that. It has wonderful staying power. I like the component of this. And the finish here, again, is that more kind of skin-like consistency, except for this one has a little bit more holding power and a little bit more coverage. Definitely gonna hold on to that one. And then last, as far as Fenty Beauty goes, can you tell I'm a fan, is the Ease Drop Liquid. This is in the shade 8. Another one that I kind of compare to these two right here. I love tints. Again, a beautiful level of coverage. I like the texture and the consistency. I actually really like the component as well. I know I have a lot on right now. Right now it's just a little bit light on me, but this is perfect for as we kind of transition from summer kind of going into like fall and winter months. It wears well. It looks really, really pretty on the skin, and it actually does set down on my skin, so holding on to that one. Next up, I have a couple from Makeup Forever. I have the HD Skin, and then the newer release of the HD Skin Hydra Glow. These are in the shade 1N14, which is also kind of a more like winter, fall type of shade. I do go up, you guys, like 5 to 6 shades. So if you're looking and you're like, whoa, why the hell do you have so many different shades? I get a little bit more light, and you know, I definitely get a little bit more light in the winter months, and then I get incredibly tan in the summertime. So just noting that for y'all. I do not like this one when I did my review recently on it. I do not like this one for summertime. It is one that also doesn't really set down on my skin, and I just don't like that feeling. I am somebody that has sensory issues. Again, that's probably why I didn't like that other one from Rose Ink, but it just doesn't set down all the way. And for as muggy and as hot as it is here, it just doesn't work for my skin at that time. I also don't think that it would be very oily skin friendly. Of course, you guys, if you do have oily skin, it's about preparing your skin, prepping your skin, using powders, using mattifying products and stuff like that. So just noting that for y'all. And if something works for me and it doesn't work for you, it's fine. It's just makeup. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to it because I don't feel like I have a whole lot as far as like wintertime shades. And I think it's gonna be really beautiful in the wintertime. But for summertime, oh no. It had zero staying power. It felt like it never set down on my skin and I did not feel comfortable in it. Now, this one right here, the HD Skin, especially with their powder foundation, oh my gosh, is it lovely. And I mean, you can see I've used the heck out of it. I do also really like that they have a wonderful shade range and that they offer minis. So that's my very long-winded way of saying I'm keeping both. Next up is my all-time favorite foundation, period. And this one is second. This is the Wander Beauty Nude Illusion Liquid Foundation. And this is in the shade medium. To me, and in my opinion, they definitely need to work on inclusion and work on their shade range. But this is one that I love the texture and the consistency of this. Hopefully you can kind of see that this is staying in place. It's a more kind of moussey consistency, if you will. A little bit more coverage. I think it is absolutely beautiful. It wears incredibly well. It does not enhance my texture. And it just looks like skin on the skin. Really, really pretty. And I've gone through multiples of these, you guys. I've sworn by this foundation for quite a few years. It's lovely, especially if you have dry textured skin. Next up, this is the Revlon Serum Tint, solely because, you guys, I have enough and I have plenty of more tint type products. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. Next up is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Foundation. Same thing with this. I just feel like I have so much. I do like the packaging and stuff here. I like that you kind of squeeze a little center part right here. And this one is another one that it gives a beautiful level of coverage. Nice and opaque, as you can see. And gives a little bit more of kind of a luminous skin-like quality. Really, really beautiful, but I definitely have too much, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. Next up, this one is actually almost gone. It is the Smashbox Halo Healthy Glow All-in-One Tinted Moisturizer. I have light neutral right now, and I'm definitely gonna hold on to this. I'm gonna go ahead and pan it and finish it up as soon as I am light enough again, so heading into like more fall, winter months. But again, it's kind of very similar to like the Maybelline Skin Tint and stuff like that. So if you're looking for something like that, also note too, you know, I have drugstore pricing, I have more high-end pricing, and there are several like dupes for each other, but this is great. I really, really love this one. Next up is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Foundation. This is in the shade Light 8 Neutral. Again, I have enough, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter, but when this first came out, I think 2018-ish, 2019-ish, I've bought several of these, panned several of these, and the Pretty Fresh line as a whole is one of my all-time favorite lines. And the name, it's aptly named. It looks pretty, it looks fresh, it looks very natural, very skin-like, but I have enough. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. Next up is this Clinique Even Better Refresh Foundation. I've only used this a couple of times just because the undertone of this, it does not work for my skin, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. Next up, this one is also almost gone. This is the Nude Sticks Tinted Cover Foundation in the shade Nude 2.5. I think because I don't have a whole lot of my more fall-winter shades, I am gonna go hold on to this, and I'll go ahead and finish this one up. Next up is my second all-time favorite foundation, as I just mentioned. This is the Yensa Super Silk Serum Foundation. Whew, that's a lot to say. And I honestly, when I see these in like the IPSY Mega Drop Shop or something like that, I try to pick up a few shades. Again, I go through multiple shades during the year. This is a light neutral. I have a tan 1. I have a light medium 1 and a medium 2. I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter the tan 1 because I do have plenty of summertime shades, and I'll keep these. I also have, this is still new, I've not had to use it, but instead of buying so many different shades of foundation, hence the declutter, I'm gonna declutter and then I will kind of keep this, keep my summertime shades that I have, and then I can also go in with the mixing medium and I can lighten up those shades. They do also offer a yellow to add warmth, and they also offer a blue to add coolness. So I'll also hold on to that. And then last up are a ton of little minis. And I think with the House Labs, they're more like light verging on medium. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter these, although these are very, very pretty, but I do have enough. I do like that they do samples of these though. And honestly, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and declutter all of these little mini samples, regardless of what the shade is. Most of these have not been open. And again, if I just kind of see things, you know, I try to make sure I have a vast range of different tones and undertones for spring, summer, winter, and fall. So when I see the little minis, I do tend to pick them up, but nobody needs all this, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter these all as well. Let me count up how many we decluttered and how many we're keeping, and then I'll BRB. All right, I'm decluttering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we are decluttering 20, and I am keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. So we kept 17, we are decluttering 20. How do you guys think I did? What is your favorite foundation? And I actually met my goal. I wanted to kind of declutter by half, or at least make sure that everything that I have all fits in my tray, and they're all products that I know, love, and trust, and use consistently. I'd love to know your favorite foundation. Comment down below. I hope you subscribe and join my beauty family. I'd love to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you to my beautiful channel members. I love you. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. And of course, be your own best beautiful. Bye, beauties!